Most football fans remember the image. A baby-faced 16-year-old standing tall at Old Trafford after scoring against Manchester United. That teenager was Luke Matheson. And while most players would spend the next day celebrating, he was back in class studying for his A-levels. Let's rewind to September 2019. Matheson, then a defender for Rochdale AFC, stunned Manchester United FC with a brilliant equaliser in the Carabao Cup at Old Trafford. The tie finished 1-1 before United edged it on penalties. By the next morning, Matheson was on a bus to school with his mates, refreshing Instagram in disbelief as thousands of new notifications poured in. He still says he can replay the goal in his mind frame by frame, the moment itself crystal clear, the chaos afterwards a blur. For a teenager from Manchester, it was surreal. And he's proud that people still stop him and ask, "Are you the kid who scored against United?" His answer? Yes, and he wouldn't change a thing. If that ends up being the biggest moment of his career, he says, that's still something most players only dream about. But his journey since then hasn't followed the typical script. Just 4 months after that famous night, Matheson made a £1 million move to Wolverhampton Wanderers FC. It felt like stepping into a different world. At Rochdale, he earned about £400 a month as a scholar, most of it spent on travel to training. At Wolves, drivers picked him up daily. The contrast was staggering. And yet, football can be cruel. After more than 30 senior games at Rochdale, he found himself back in development football with Wolves under-23s. For someone who had already tasted first-team action, it felt like going backwards. Loan spells followed, with Ipswich Town FC, Hamilton Academical FC and Scunthorpe United FC, but injuries kept interrupting any momentum. A serious hamstring tear nearly ended everything. Surgeons warned him his career might be over. For a while, he had to imagine life beyond football. Education had always mattered to him. His parents are both primary school teachers, so he prepared for the future. Recently, he completed a diploma in sporting directorship through the PFA's business school, graduating alongside names like Tim Krul and Adrian Mariappa. But the story didn't end there. In 2026, Matheson is rebuilding his career at Macclesfield FC, playing part-time and even coaching the club's under-8s. And right now, the Silkmen are on an incredible FA Cup run. They shocked Crystal Palace FC in the third round, one of the biggest upsets in recent memory, and now they're preparing to face Brentford FC in the fourth round. It won't be Matheson's first taste of Premier League opposition. He previously faced Newcastle United FC in the FA Cup with Rochdale. But this chapter carries deeper meaning. Because during his time at Wolves, he built a close friendship with teammate Jordan McLeod. The two battled through injuries together and later reunited at Macclesfield. On December 16, 2025, tragedy struck when McLeod died in a car accident following a National League North match. Matheson was among the players delayed on the motorway that night. The news arrived the next morning, a phone call no one ever wants to receive. He speaks about McLeod with emotion. They had spent countless hours in rehab, pushing each other through dark moments. Just 3 days before McLeod's death, they finally achieved something they'd long joked about, starting a match together after so many setbacks. It turned out to be their only game side by side. Now injury-free and playing regularly again, Matheson says the buzz around Macclesfield is something special. The town is alive with scarves and club badges. For him, giving those fans moments to remember means everything. And here's the remarkable part. From scoring at Old Trafford as a teenager, to nearly losing the game entirely, to honoring a teammate's memory on a new FA Cup stage, Luke Matheson's career has already contained more twists than most players experience in a lifetime. Monday's tie against Brentford is another opportunity. Another spotlight. Another chapter. And if football has taught us anything about Luke Matheson, it's this: don't be surprised if he delivers when nobody expects it.